Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, PA.
Mr. National?
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, PA. The man with electric football fingers so quick and nimble, they defy the human eye. I present to you the one and only Mr. National and the Mr. National Podcast.
Is my mic on? I'm live.
You live.
Right. My mic sounds nice.
That camera right there.
That's it. That one. That's the one I want.
There for a
Ladies and
minute, I thought
gentlemen.
our video wasn't going to work. Our intro. I thought Cable might be on strike or something, looking for a pay raise.
But yeah, right. We went video with this podcast, so I'm flexing the white beater. This is
Right.
this is This is the OnlyFans edition right
Yeah,
here.
we might
got
have to put up a paywall so people can,
That's it.
pay
Or
for this.
or a GoFundMe to help me get a gym membership so I can get in shape. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, if you're going to be showing that much skin, you don't want
You got to be ripped. You know what I mean? All right, here, I'm gonna light up this Palencia 149 right here,
to. Nice.
and folks, we got a great show. It's going to be, as P Dub said, it's going to be short and sweet, and
I
we're
don't know
going
if it's going to be sweet. I don't know if it's going to be
right,
sweet.
and it's going to be frank. We're going to be frank and earnest. P Dub's going to be frank, and I'm going to be earnest. Okay, that's how we roll.
All right. If you want, that's what we got to do.
That's what we got to do. Listen, we got to face the topics and the subjects head on. We can't run from anything.
Mm-hmm.
We don't start no fights, but we definitely ain't running from none either.
All right.
So I'm trying to light this. It's windy as all get out. It's hot today out here in Philly.
Yeah, it's humid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like breathing in a bathtub.
All right, I got that thing done.
Got it lit?
Mm-hmm. We good. So without further ado,
NFL power rankings right now.
NFL power, right. Because if you've been living under a rock, the NFL is back. The Hall of Fame game kicked off on Thursday. Jacksonville versus the Raiders. The Jaguars versus the Raiders. Two first-time head coaches going at it. I don't know first time, but first year head coaches going at it. Jacksonville got rid of the college dude. What was his name?
Yeah. The guy that was a disaster.
Yeah, that was
Out there kicking people and stuff.
That was a dumpster fire right there. He's going, and I forget who the Raiders.
Yeah, they had their problems last year.
The Gruden fiasco, and then they had an interim guy. Did they make the interim guy the regular head coach? They didn't, right? They didn't.
I don't remember. I can't remember who they got there as their coach.
Yeah, well, it was a good game. Obviously, the Raiders are in a better place than the Jaguars, because I think the Jaguars.
I feel like the Raiders could be contenders.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially with Adams as their wideout. Yeah,
with Adams as a wideout, and the Chiefs, who's probably the favorite in that division, losing one of their top wide receivers.
Right.
I tell you that's both AFC West. This is going to lead us into your power rankings, P Dub. Both conferences of the AFC of the West look good.
Oh yeah, they look dominant over everybody else. I mean, it was so much like they're going to just beat each other up all season long.
Mm-hmm.
Because for those of you that don't know, if you're in a division, you play everybody in that division twice every season. You play them once at home and once away. So You got, like, I don't know, the 49ers play the
Seahawks, Cardinals, and Rams twice.
Every year. So they're so familiar with each other, and they beat each other up every year, So if you got 4 good teams in your division, it's going to be a long season. Whereas, say, for example, the Cowboys are in the NFC East. They got 3. The Cowboys are not good, but they got 3 less than stellar teams opponents. So they're going to play them 6 times a year in the season. That's kind of a walk in the park.
Yeah.
So whoever comes in that division comes out. It was like the Patriots did for years.
Yes, that's what I was doing.
They had such a poor quality of opponents in their division that they were able to walk through those games easily. And then they were prepared for their other 10 games to just really hit it hard, And so it gave them an advantage throughout the long, grueling NFL season, which is now 17 games.
Right.
This is everything that all of our viewers know about, right? They know about football.
Right. So I was going to say, on your point, the Patriots for years had that cakewalk through, which helps them get home field advantage throughout the playoffs, which nobody really wanted to come into New England in January and play football.
Right.
But on the flip side of that, you could say those teams that had tougher division opponents and tougher schedules, you get beat up, but you're more battle tested, and there's a higher chance that you already played some of the teams that you might meet in the playoffs. So It's kind of like you're battle tested. With the Patriots, it didn't matter with them. They were still successful, even though they had a cakewalk through the regular season, had home field advantage. When those better teams came in, they were more beat up, as P-Double said. They were beat up more so than the Patriots, who kind of just, waltzed through. So
it worked for them for a long time. The Patriots, it worked for them for a long time. I mean, they were always there. Even this
to the tune of 10 Super Bowl appearances.
Right. Yeah. By the way, fact check here: Josh McDaniels is the Raiders coach.
Okay, that's it.
Which is kind of getting another shot at it. That guy.
There you go. Right. Yeah. Because he had his shot before. He was with who was he with? The Raiders, the Patriots, somebody.
He was with the Patriots as an assistant coach.
Right.
And he took a head coaching job in where was it? In I can't remember where, but then he came back to the Patriots.
Yeah, right.
And now he's getting another shot. I mean, some people just
he had success in college too, right? Wasn't he Nick Saban's guy?
Was he? I don't know that much about it.
Okay, Josh. Yeah, we'll check into that. We'll definitely. But before we go any further on the Mr. National podcast, I want to thank everybody who's viewing in. The millions out there live and our subscribers on YouTube TV. Through iTunes, everywhere. We're everywhere, But I want to give a big shout out, birthday, best wishes to the big man, Stephen LeGros.
The big fella. Boy, he hates the Cowboys.
He's a Houston Texans fan.
Yeah.
He lives in Houston. His team is just in shambles. Okay. Right.
They're at the bottom of everybody's power rankings.
Yeah, right. Now, Pete up. What was those power rankings like? Who was number one?
So it depends on you can get any kind of version. It just depends on who you're reading. But I mean, there's some general consensus.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills and the Rams and the Chiefs are always right at the top.
Yeah.
So I just pick one here and we can go through it. Right. So this is, it varies slightly on the, 1 or 2 rankings, but this particular one's got Buffalo at the top, Tampa Bay, and then the Rams, and then the Chiefs. So those are your top 4.
4. Okay, give me one more. Who's 5? Top 5.
Well, hold on. Let's go to the top 4 real quick. Those you got two from each conference. So what they're saying is, maybe in the championship game, AFC championship game, you got Buffalo, KC, Tampa, and the Rams.
That's almost a repeat of last year.
Right. It is,
And
isn't it?
I think it is. And the thing is, the team that loses the Super Bowl doesn't usually come back the next year.
Right.
So there's a good chance that who was in there?
Rams.
Yeah, the Rams won.
Oh, you said the team that loses. I got you.
Who was it?
It was the Rams and Chiefs.
Right.
No,
No.
we don't know who was in the. Was it the Bills?
No, you're right. It was the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs. Was it the Chiefs? Damn. Now you got me. Who was it? It's too damn early. That's what the.
All right, hold on.
I know Buffalo lost that crazy game because they didn't get the chance they didn't get a chance at the game.
Right. It was the Rams.
It was the Bengals. So,
right.
Okay. Right. So yeah, the Bengals. I was just thinking about that. Okay, the
brain
Bengals.
part. That's funny.
The
Okay.
Bengals.
So yeah, interesting. They don't have the Bengals up here. So you're saying that the team that loses the Super Bowl never comes back?
Don't come back the next year. Rarely makes the playoffs, but definitely doesn't get back in there.
Oh, okay.
And recent history.
Right.
You know, look at the 49ers. We did it. We went and we went with the Chiefs, and then we disappeared forever, damn near.
Look at the Cowboys. They haven't had a sniff at the Super Bowl since 1995.
But they won it, though. They won it.
All right. So yeah.
They're top four. The top four. I like that top four. That top four is sturdy. That's sturdy.
Right. It's solid. The Buccaneers, you think?
I don't know. Because here it is. Here's the Mr. National breakdown right here. Here, Tom Brady could wake up old. You know what I mean? He wanted to retire, and he's coming back. You know, they got a great wide receiver. They signed Julio Jones.
Right.
Great pickup because they lost.
Gronk's retiring, and to me, he made a big difference in that.
He made a big difference. He ain't coming back.
Right.
So the Tampa is Tom Brady if everything works out, and then they have a new coach too. Just make the older guy moved up.
Right. Who's the coach now?
I think they got the Todd Bowles. Is it maybe?
Oh yeah, Bowles. Right. Was he the defensive coordinator?
Yeah, he was a defensive coordinator and old Jets coach. So you don't know. So they're iffy, okay? And the Rams,
the least sturdy of those top four.
Who's the least sturdy?
Yeah, Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa. Tampa, and then the Chiefs because you don't know what they're coming back.
Right.
You don't know with Hill and another year NFL defenses catching up to what they do. Last year you saw it. The defenses figured them out. They had to make a couple more adjustments. So they're the next least sturdy. Then I would go the Rams because they just won it. So it's the case of the Super Bowl hangover. Right. And then the
Bills.
The Bills are like
up and coming.
Yeah, I mean they're not up. They're there. This should be their year. If they don't go to the Super Bowl, the year was a waste. Okay, that's where they're at now. You have to go. You know, they overtime rules, whatever. Okay, you got to go, or your season is a bust.
Right.
Now the team that I
want to go down. You want to continue on now? It gets a little interesting now.
Okay, you went to top four. Okay, good.
I like that top four though, right?
That's sturdy. All
right, next. All right, LA Chargers 5, Packers 6, Broncos 7, Bengals 8.
I like that. They're giving the Bengals
8. Bengals all the way down to 8 under Denver.
Mm-hmm.
What's Denver got, man? Are they getting
Denver got Russell Wilson.
Right. And the Chargers? Come on.
Chargers, they're over the Raiders.
Khalil Mack on defense.
Who, the Chargers?
Yep.
They do? I didn't know they got him.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Khalil? Wow. That when he was with the Raiders, he was with the Raiders and the Bears.
Yeah, he went to the Bears, and now he's with the Chargers. So
He's not what he used to be. And then the other guy left. The other guy left too. Von Miller. I think he went to a new team.
He went to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo is dialed in, man. They gotta go.
Right. Von Miller wants the Super Bowl. Jumping all around like Kevin Durant.
But he's got one. He's got one. He got an MVP too. He is Kevin Durant, huh? Don't call that man Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant
he might come after.
Yeah, he might come after. He might see you. He might see you. You know what I mean?
Right.
At some red carpet event, and it was like, you know, at the ESPYs or something, like they go that P-Dub from the Mr. National show right there, the podcast. Let me go holler at that dude.
All right.
8. You was at 8, the Bengals. I want the top dozen. I want the dirty dozen. So go down. We're going to go down to 12.
You ready
break
for
it down.
9 through 12. 49ers, Browns, Ravens, and Cowboys.
Where's Cowboys? What number is the Cowboys?
12.
12. Okay. They make the dirty dozen.
I don't see the 49ers or the Cowboys in there or the Browns.
Well, who would you, if you took out them, who would you put in?
Okay. That's a damn good question.
Right.
I mean, I'm just going down the list. I'll tell you the next 3 are teams I like. Cardinals, Colts, and Raiders. All got better upsides than those 3. Cardinals, Colts, and Raiders.
Okay.
I like Raiders. Those 3 I like to rate.
The Cowboys problem are underachievers. They are big time underachievers. They have the talent on paper.
Yeah.
They have a division that's not that competitive, and they cannot come through.
Right.
Whether it's coaching, Jerry is too involved, or Dak Prescott not handing the ball to the referee. It's always something with those
all
guys.
3 of those, man. All 3 of those.
Yeah. So they
need to level up. They need Jerry Jones to shut his mouth. And Mike McCarthy, I don't know about that guy, man.
Yeah, he had Aaron Rodgers in his prime, okay? In his prime.
Right.
So, yeah, that guy you just put him out there and let him go. I don't know about the 49ers thing. Everybody watching those Mr. National diehard Niners, and they know P-Dub's Cowboys. So we're going to be earnest and frank about our teams. We ain't pulling no punches. The Jimmy G saga has to come to an end. Either we're going to keep him as a backup, but the word has been sent out that Trey Lance is the quarterback. Now, Kyle Shanahan is a young Andy Reid as he gets these quarterbacks, these younger guys, looking good and ready to play. We both saw Trey Lance play, P-Dub. We were at that Detroit game, I think, right? Was that Trey Lance? That was Trey Lance. Was that Trey Lance or was that Jimmy?
They got that.
No, that was Jimmy. Jimmy played in that game. That was Jimmy.
Yeah.
That was Jimmy.
A little bit, though. They put him in, because they wanted to get him some reps.
So package. I went to a game, I think it was the Cardinals. When they played the Cardinals, they had Trey Lance starting because of Jimmy being hurt. And he just didn't look good. He looked like a college runner. He looked like Tebow.
My thing is this. If you go way back, from the beginning of time, even like I said beginning of my time watching the NFL, even players like Steve Young and Joe Montana, at some point these quarterbacks, they get their shot, right? But it's when the starter is on the decline, It's not when the starter, Jimmy G's in his prime. Maybe he's not that good, but he's in his prime.
Yeah.
So you're undercutting. They need to trade him and get him out of there, right? Yeah. Right, because now you're just undercutting his confidence. I think
it is.
If Jimmy G was old and it was like planned, like Brett Favre, Brett Favre was getting old, but you didn't.
Joe Montana was getting old when Steve Young came in. Yeah.
Right. Roger Staubach and Danny White. You can go back lots and lots and lots of quarterbacks.
But then Danny White could punt the ball though.
What's
Danny
that?
White could punt the ball.
Yeah, that's just stuck to that.
He's done.
But you know, even like Bledsoe, you know, he wasn't in his prime when he was in New England.
Hmm.
They put Brady. He was in the decline of his career, you know, and so. But so it's like, you know, okay, here you take the ball. I've had enough. But Jimmy G's like, you know, hey, trade me away so I can at least get a chance to start somewhere else.
Right.
You know, maybe he's not that good, but
He is good, but he's shown he's got that Tony Romo in him. He's got that.
Yeah, I don't think he's just got that taking
that dark cloud. He's going to make the worst mistake at the worst time. It's going to cost you the game. So that's the problem. We've seen the Jimmy G show in San Fran enough to know he's only going to get us so far, and then that's it. So
right. So give him a shot somewhere else, though. Is what I think.
But the thing is, you got to get value for him because you just said the guy is good. The guy can still play. He's kind of basic in the height of his prime. You know, he's on his prime. He's got maybe another 2 more years.
What the Rams did with Jared Goff. You know, Jared Goff wasn't going to quite cut it, but Jared Goff is the best he could be right now. So give him a shot at another team. You're going to bring in the guy that's going to get you there. Don't keep Goff on the bench, you know.
Right, but see, the problem is Jimmy G is still good, but if the teams don't want to give you no value, you can't give them away.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the situation that my 49ers are in. Mm-hmm. And having them there probably gives you the best chance of winning because of the way Trey Lance plays ball. He's a runner guy. He's going to take hits. He could get hurt. Jimmy G can come in and not miss a beat. Okay. Mm-hmm. That is the one side of it. But is Jimmy G going to play Sour Patch? You know, is Trey Lance going to always look over his shoulder with Jimmy G being there? So it's a whole dynamic there with that going on. Yeah. I say trade him personally. Trade for the sake of Trey Lance. If Trey Lance is your guy, get everything out of there, get a real backup, and we're just going to go with this and ride it out. I think we're going to struggle for a little bit. I do think Kyle Shanahan will get Trey Lance, will use his abilities and get that kid playing. By week 4, week 5, I think we're going to be a legitimate team. I do. Yeah. The Cowboys, I have no faith in the Cowboys.
Me either.
Their ranking is maybe a little high. I think they will be challenged by the Philadelphia Eagles and a slight challenge from the Washington Commanders. So the cakewalk, I don't know if is going to be such a cakewalk for the Cowboys.
Right. Because, nobody's got it, but that division is really poor. I mean, they
play down to their competition.
Yeah.
So
come out of there 10-6 and or 10-7, and you're probably going to get first place.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
Cleveland's got Deshaun Watson. He's suspended. You know, anything can happen there. The team that gets me too is the Baltimore. You know, I like the Ravens.
Yeah.
They're 11 on here. I mean, they could be up in the top 8 easily.
Top 8. Yeah, they could be in the top 8, top 9.
11, but they could also be, you know.
But it's Lamar. It's the quarterback. Can he be the guy? I know Harbaugh is a great coach.
This year, a little bit different, I think.
Yeah, I know Harbaugh is a great coach. You know they got a great defense, but it comes down to the quarterback play. Yeah. Green Bay is interesting because Aaron Rodgers lost his main number one weapon, but it's Aaron Rodgers, so he'll figure it out.
Right.
He'll figure it out.
He'll also be his target, and So anyway, after that, it gets really boring. You know, they got Philly is 13, Arizona is 14. Colts 15.
Ravens. Okay, Arizona is interesting. They could jump back into the mix. They had
them 14 is questionable. I mean, to me, they could be top 8 easy. You know.
Yeah. They still got Hopkins, the wide receiver. He was hurt a lot, so He's coming back.
No, he's got a 6-game suspension though.
True. But at least when he comes back, he'll be back. 3 games is better than what he had when he was hurt. He would hurt, he would come back and be playing hurt, get more hurt, and be out of the game. So Arizona is interesting. They can be good. Like I say, that NFC West is going to be tough. Other than Seattle, who's finally getting away from the Russell Wilson era, they have a interesting year coming up. With a new face of the franchise, which is DK Metcalf.
Right. That guy, yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. That's the body I need for wearing this tank top on the podcast.
Right.
P-Dub, listen, you the producer. You gotta get me a
virtual
DK Metcalf. Listen, a DK Metcalf filter where I just come on and then my body's fluffed up. You know what I mean? I also want the voice synthesizer too, so I got that deep carrying voice like Kit Kitchen. I might even listen to my own podcast once in a while.
Right, you might have to try it out, huh? Yeah, then it gets real. Then it gets real boring,
Yeah.
I'm not even. It's not even.
No, we ain't even gonna bring it up. We're gonna go back to the Sean Watson thing.
Oh, okay.
What did you feel about the 6-game suspension? When you heard that 6 games, what did you think?
I mean, that's. I don't know, man. I mean,
I thought they was going to do 8, but then I said 6. Okay, 6 is cool. Because
settling all these cases, why is the NFL? I don't know. I mean, either I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I mean,
well, listen, here it is. I've been listening. I've been keeping up. So the NFL is going to appeal the decision. They got another arbitrator, and they want to get him more games. They want to see him out for the whole year or whatever. And they brought up the case of Ezekiel Elliott, where he was suspended, but he appealed it, and he was able to play. And then eventually, I think after 8 games where they saw the Cowboys really wasn't making no noise or whatever, he served his suspension. Remember? It was supposed to be in the beginning of the year. So they said there's a good scenario where Deshaun Watson is the Cleveland quarterback for week 1.
Opening day.
Opening day. Instead of them just letting the 6 games go by. I think the NFL is just doing this for more of a PR standpoint to make it look like, hey, look, we care and we want him suspended more. I don't think it's going to happen.
Right. Like, do you think Cleveland really, the owners would have paid him all that money to bring him there and not have him play
for this year? No. I mean, that's
the quarterback,
I mean, I know what he did. He was abusing his power and stuff, but did he actually assault anybody? Did he force sex? No. He just acted weird during his massage.
Weird dude, I mean.
Yeah, he came out naked when you ain't supposed to be naked. They said I think somebody said he jerked off while he was getting a massage. I mean, that's lead up. There we go. That if you jerked off getting your massage, they would kick you out and ban you from coming back.
Right.
Deshaun Watson, they want to sue and get money out of
him. Right.
Which happened. They settled all.
They settled all the cases. So
it's done. So now he got 6 games for the way he acted. Done. It could have been 8, but it's done. It's over. He settled all his cases. They are done. The women felt disrespected. They get disrespected all the time by regular people. That ain't the first. I guarantee it ain't probably the first time somebody acted that way in the massage parlor or said something.
Right.
Like you said, it's a touchy situation, but I think that it's going to be 8 games, and I think he will get suspended 8 games. I think he got to sit 8 games.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they could muddle to go 4-4 in those 8 games and then make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're in a tough division. They're in a tough division. The Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns. I think the Steelers are going to be in last place, depending on how much plays. Deshaun. Now, real quick, before we go into electric football, where is Baker Mayfield?
Carolina.
Okay, Carolina. They not making no noise. I don't think they're making.
They got them way down here. They got
Yeah, I think the Saints. The Saints are probably the only team that might challenge the Buccaneers for that division.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. Did you catch any of the NFL Hall of Fame game?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay. What? Yes, a little bit. Did you like this year's Hall of Fame class?
That was an interesting one. They had Baselli in there from Jacksonville.
Yeah, Tony Baselli.
Yeah.
They had 2 defensive linemen.
Yeah, Big Seymour and
Richard Seymour and Brian Young.
Brian Young.
Yeah,
God, I watched Brian Young's induction speech and I almost started crying.
Whose speech?
Brian Young.
Oh yeah.
His son had died from cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. If you get a chance to watch it, make sure you're watching you because you might start crying. But yes, yeah. Brian Young was a pain in Dallas.
Dude, he was a monster. I had no. Richard Seymour was good with the Patriots and I guess he's been retired for a while. Right. I didn't know he was I didn't think of him as a Hall of Famer.
Right, these are guys, like Baselli and Seymour.
Baselli was no doubt about it for me. That guy was a number one.
The team that he was on though was never really. They were pretty good, but I don't know.
Dude, he blocked Bruce Smith without help.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
forever.
No question, he was great.
In Jacksonville, those Jacksonville teams were good.
No, I know.
Fred Taylor, Ricardo, and Jimmy Smith, who used to play for the Cowboys.
Yep, they had great offense.
They had Hardy Nickerson on defense. They had a couple guys on defense, but nothing real stellar. You know what I mean? If anything was going to hold them back from getting to the next level, was probably the defense because the offense was solid, and Baselli was the anchor of that line. I mean, that's a solid Hall of Fame class. Cliff Branch was in there.
Yeah, like he should have been in there a while ago. I thought Leroy Butler. These are guys that.
Leroy Butler, a little iffy.
Right. It's not. I like Cliff Branch for it, but.
Oh, I love Cliff Branch. The iffy ones for me would be Leroy Butler and Richard Seymour. But I can see Richard Seymour because he was on a lot of those Super Bowl teams. So
right.
He was an anchor. He was the guy.
I mean, same with Leroy Butler. He was a.
Well, he went to one Super Bowl. He went to one, right?
Was
2.
One?
He won 1, lost 1.
Okay. Who was the other?
Right.
One more after that. The Hall of 2022 NFL Hall of Fame class. One guy we're missing. Who was?
I like that class though. That was a great class.
Dick Vermeil and Art.
Dick Vermeil.
Sam Mills.
Ooh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, for the Saints and the Panthers. He was good.
Yeah.
He got in more so because he was so short and he had a long career. He was solid though.
Yeah, I remember he was solid in Philadelphia in the USFL.
Yeah, like I say, Richard Seymour, I could see him in, but he was almost like that guy for the Dolphins that went in, Jason Taylor. Yeah, I was like,
yeah. Some of these guys, it's just like, you think of the Hall of Fame and you think of like game changers,
Right. You think of being the best at your position at some point of your career. Right. And I don't think Richard Seymour was ever considered the best defensive tackle in the league at any point, where Brian Young was.
Yeah.
Cliff Branch was considered the best deep threat, fastest receiver in his era.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Leroy Butler, I do not remember him being. I got to look to see how many
throws. Great linebacker, but Was he, Mike Singletary? No.
Mm-mm.
Really close. That's in my opinion.
All right. Well, the speeches were great. The Hall of Fame class was solid. Not, exceptional, but solid. It was solid. It was solid. I'll give it a solid B. Solid B.
Werewolf was on a campaign to get Otis Taylor nominated.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been beating that drum for some years now. Wolf needs to give it up, okay? There's no begging in Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? No begging. That's you know what I mean? The Mr. National School of Etiquette. You know what I mean? No begging.
Yeah.
There's no begging for Hall of Fame. If you got to beg, your guy might not belong in there. I'm trying to get Roger Craig in there.
Right.
He ain't happening.
Yeah, I mean, if you
want also talking about the Wolf did a commercial. He was in a commercial in Kansas City as they hyped up the upcoming Kansas City Chiefs. Season. Yeah, he got a little. He was telling me about it.
That's cool.
Talking about Wolf, and then when you think about Wolf, you think about the MFCA, you think about the TOC, and that brings us up to the next, topic of the Mr. National Podcast, here with my main man, Mr. P-Dub. Okay? If you're just joining us, we wanted to give Stephen LeGros, one of our biggest supporters of the podcast, always supports everything electric football. Stephen LeGros' birthday is today. Will Travers, my main man, had a birthday a couple days ago. Mr. National himself had a birthday July 30th, Happy belated to me. Jamie Harris, the Wiz, also celebrated a birthday a couple days ago. So the birthdays are rolling in, and every podcast, me and P-Dub dig deep to find electric football coaches, and we give them a shout out, okay? Because without any of you guys, we wouldn't be doing this,
Right.
Wouldn't be we would do it maybe, wouldn't nobody be watching it. So there you go. All right, listen. I ain't gonna pull no punches. This is the Ernest and Frank podcast. You were front and center of what happened at the TOC at the Con 15.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Wasn't there? Were you watching live?
Nope.
Okay. Some coaches saw it live. I'm gonna let you take over. It was a game.
Let me go back. I was gonna go. It was in Detroit. I'm a couple hours away. I wanted to be there. I'll be honest, just be frank and earnest. I thought about some of the drama that I thought might happen, and I just didn't feel like going. So I didn't go. All right. I just figured, I'm going to stay home. I got better things to do. I can.
That's crazy. You thought the drama could happen.
And you know what? I was right.
Was the drama that you thought might happen? Did you have any people in particular that might bring the drama?
Yep.
And those were the people that had the drama.
Right.
There you go.
You know what? Because I'll be honest. We're going to be frank and earnest. If you look back at every event in electric football where there's some big drama, it's the same characters.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And it's kind of easy to tell.
Right.
And so your reputation speaks for itself.
Right.
So, and I'm just going to say, people don't want to be around it. I didn't.
Dang. And these are people, Ken Allen and Brian Phillips, who we had on our podcast.
Yep.
We love those guys.
We love those guys. Well, I love both those guys.
But they got to clean up their behavior at these events.
It's just
bottom line.
It's not okay. I mean, you can do what you want, right? but people don't want to be around it, and that's why I didn't go. And I know for a fact that's why there was a lot of people. Detroit is a hotbed for electric football. There's tons of coaches in Detroit area, and they all love electric football. They all love these coaches and their passion. But man, it's a board game. It ain't football. And physical. Look, I'm old. Almost all the coaches in playing electric football are old. I'm old. I have Parkinson's. My physical days are gone. They were over. And on my best day, even when I was young, I'm not going to challenge Brian Phillips or Kenny Allen physically. It ain't going to happen, right? So I don't want to go there, with having to deal with that. If you want to, have fun and talk trash, I'm all about that. I mean, I think it's hilarious. I love it,
Right.
I sat and watched Jim Davis and Frank Jacobs play a game. They talked trash so much they were yelling at each other at the top of their lungs the whole game. And I thought it was great. It was hilarious. We were worried about getting kicked out of the hotel and stuff, but there's no hard feelings between those two.
Right.
They just have fun. And if you have passion and you're competitive, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that part of it.
Well,
but
they crossed the line.
Yeah. If you want to earn respect as a man, okay, it's not on the physical plane. Go do MMA or something like that, or go play basketball in the park.
Right.
We're playing a board game. That's not the kind of respect you're going to earn. The kind of respect you're going to earn is to have integrity, do the right thing. That's what a man does. And getting into, I'm going to kick your ass kind of argument is not
a good look.
Yeah, you don't earn anybody's respect by that.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna tell you,
football with coaches like that, and apparently that's why they've both been suspended for a year. So, think about that. Why were you suspended for a year? People don't want to be around you. That's it.
Damn, that was as frank as you could get. We got to clean it up. Ken Allen knows better. Brian Phillips knows better. Brian Phillips played in the Philly League, and he is a loud kind of guy. And I told him about that, and he said, "Corey, that's just the way I am. I ain't no hard feelings. It's just my competitive juices." Well,
that's great.
Some that you know what I mean. It's that's not here. It's not here. Like you got to keep it within the confines of the game. Now you take Chris Stringer. Chris Stringer is loud, but it's not at nobody. It's not directed. It's not.
Right.
It's just I made a good play. Boo, yeah.
The first tournament I went to when I met you was the one in Canton. The first game I'm playing. All right, I threw an interception like a pick six against Monty Kendall. Monty was looking at me like, "Damn, you're terrible." Chris Stringer gets a sack. He sacks somebody. He ran around the room pumping his fist, screaming. He ran around the whole room. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is crazy!" And then Adrian Baxter was over there going, "Woo!" every time he got
right.
it was loud. It was hilarious, But it's all fun. It's got to be fun,
Yeah, man. I talked to a couple guys, and they said it was bad. Charles Lane was upset that it happened. He had to talk with them guys. They got to clean this up. Ken Allen should know, but Ken Allen has been around longer than I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And the way it happened was,
I don't know what happened, and to me it doesn't matter. All right, so I hesitate to talk about like who did what, because that's all word of mouth.
Right.
But I do know that there was a confrontation, that there was a threat of it. There was no physical confrontation, but there was a threat of physical, right?
Yeah. Had to be pulled apart. Yeah. It was, over rules, which always seems to be rules interpretation and somebody making a call.
We can all have a whole podcast and get Kid on here about the rules.
Yeah. But that
needs to be cleaned up too.
Yes. They need the TOC has to clean it up. Has to clean up. Top to bottom, clean up. Okay. Ken Allen was on our podcast talking about how the Glass City, you don't have this, you don't have that, like at other places, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he's on his best behavior at the Glass City, but then he comes to the TOC, and he's part of the problem that he talked about on this podcast. So to me, I'm not no college graduate, but that sounds like a hypocrite to me. So Ken Allen, you gotta clean
right there.
You gotta clean yourself up, Ken. You know better. You know what I mean? I'm probably gonna get a call from Ken.
Get some calls here.
Yeah, we're gonna get some calls, but I don't care. You know, they know where they can find me. Okay, call me. It's you guys and Brian Phillips are turning good coaches away from the tournaments that they know that you're going to be at. Now, you look in the mirror and tell me, is that the person that you want to be?
Right.
I don't care how good you are.
Check this out, Mr. National. Imagine you're playing electric football against a 10-year-old little girl on the other side of the board. Your behavior towards that 10-year-old girl, why should it be any different between her and Charles Lane, Kenny Allen, or Brian Phillips? You should treat them with respect, right? You wouldn't start yelling at that 10-year-old little girl. You'd be called an a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, if you're playing against Charles Lane and you start doing that, or you're playing against Kenny Allen, or you're playing against Brian Phillips, and you start acting like that, that person can defend themselves different than a 10-year-old little girl, but have some integrity and have some class and show that other person respect. Show yourself some respect. There's no reason you should act any different. Yeah, you can do your hooting and hollering, run around a room after a sack, but it's not directed at that opponent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. Absolutely. You got no argument from me, P-Dub. You are preaching to the choir, my man. It's got to be cleaned up. Now, going forward, the next TOC, then I ended that season. Congratulations to Brian Newton, who won the whole thing, joins the Ring Club, and all that stuff. I mean,
one more thing about it too. Sorry to interrupt. The coaches that are competing in the TOC are the best. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're representing the best of electric football. Yeah, we got great leagues. You playing in your leagues, but everybody from all those leagues, Deep South was well represented. Cello came from California.
Mm-hmm.
Best of the best come to the TOC to compete, and that's not going to change, right? Brian Phillips is one of the best coaches. Kenny Allen is one of the best coaches. They're going to be
best ambassadors too.
They're great, so we want them to be there, but we want everybody else to be there too, to see it, right? And then,
you might compete in it.
Right. You might get a young coach like Elgin Clemens or somebody like that, who's like, goes to one of these tournaments and says, man, I want to, go to some tournaments, watch and learn, and then say, I want to compete at that level. And then he comes up, builds himself up and competes, right? But it's not going to happen if you're driving people away. So
there you go.
Yeah. And then you're not going to be the best of the best anymore, because
you're not going to be on the front of the Tweet magazine. You won't be on the front of Cracking Plastic magazine.
Not even be on this national podcast.
You won't be.
You might have to just talk to them on the phone. Give them a text.
Right. You guys might be banned for a year from the Mr. National podcast. You don't clean your act up. I'm gonna talk to them guys. Them guys going.
I'm sure you are gonna talk to them.
Yeah, they piss me off driving away people. Okay, you know what I mean. So, like I said, congrats to Brian Newton. Coming up next is the Kansas City turn. That kicks off the next season of the TOC chase for the ring. You know what I mean? And
that's always, hey, you know what? They keep it cool down there. I'll be honest. I think one of the things that happened was, and you can talk to Darrell about this, is Kelly Newton wasn't there. Kelly Newton will be in Kansas City, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Newton's no clown. You know what I mean?
He's a former Division I basketball starter for the
Right.
Oklahoma Sooners. Okay,
I think
he's 6'3".
he conducts himself with a certain standard, which
Yes, and he's played competitive real life sports. Okay, so Frank Jacobs too. Guy played for Notre Dame. Those guys are real athletes who competed at the highest level, and they compose themselves. You just got to do better. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean,
So anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. Kansas City's coming up. We want to keep that going strong.
we do, and we want to just clean it up and just make it enjoyable for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, both of them guys have won everything. Ken and Brian, they won all the, like, calm down. I remember Lomax used to say, Lomax was a kind of tight, argue calls, was always what I mean, like, difficult to play against. You know what I mean? He took the joy out. But Lomax was like, I wanted to win. He was like, I'm different now. I didn't want, I just want to come out and enjoy myself. So you get to a level, Brian knows, like I say, Brian knows better. They probably both of them just, I think it might have been boiling up. Those two guys are basically the same person. So it was bound to happen. It should have happened in the parking lot. It should have happened outside the game room when we just sitting out chilling, and them guys hashed it out. I heard that they talked it out and they are okay with each other. That's the good thing. That's what men do. They hashed it out. They talked it out, what one does that bothers, but the damage has already been done. Now, I don't know. Get on your social media and make a public apology and say, I'm gonna do better. I'll be better. When I come back, when I'm allowed to play again and attend these events, I'll be better. I don't know if they're kicking them out. I guess they just can't play. You can't stop nobody.
I don't know what's going to happen.
We are not in the board of directors,
and I'm not going to judge their decisions on it. I'm not going to judge what happened either. Other than that, there was a confrontation that got out of control. That's what I know.
Right.
I don't know whose fault it was. Any of that. It doesn't matter to me.
Right. P-Dub didn't care what happened. Did you break one of my players? Did you sabotage? Whatever.
Look,
you got to handle
physical confrontation with me, and I'm playing. The best thing that I can do, like I said, man, I'm not. My physical days are over. Right? If you want to do that with me, I can't do that. So all I can do is pack up my shit and leave.
That's it.
That's all I can do. And you can say, "Oh well, P-Dub's, is going to stick up for himself." I can't do that. I can't. So what do I get? You didn't earn any you didn't earn any respect from me. You just disrespected me, and you disrespected yourself. That's what you did.
Dang, he hit him with a. If you out there yelling booze, there's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with you.
It's a board game. It's a kid's game.
Check yourself. All right. Well, you
want to earn physical respect, go play. Go join MMA or something. Get in a boxing ring. What happens? Get punched in the face.
We're gonna have next up the TOC boxing challenge.
Right. Let's see that. Us old fat dudes trying to mix it up. It ain't gonna happen.
Main event. You know what I mean? Main event.
Oh,
We're gonna put the boxing gloves and the headgear on. That's what we're gonna do. Because it can't be settled on the board. They're taking it to the ring. Boxing gloves and headgear. That's what we're gonna do.
Look, not everybody agrees with my opinion or Mr. Nationals. Go ahead and comment.
Fill up our comments. Right.
Go ahead and have at it. I posted on my little Facebook page. And
I can't post because here's something speed up. Somebody in the MFCA coach's Facebook page banned me from comment.
Really?
Yeah, I could. I went to comment on something, and they said I got a notice that I can't comment. I can't do nothing on the MFCA thing.
Wow. Really nothing?
Yeah, it's banned. I can't even go on. I can go on there. I can look. I want to know who's.
I should look and see if I can, because
I want to know what did I post or say? Huh?
what the fuck did I do?
Very good.
Like McNulty on The Wire. What did I do?
I went up there to say something, a comment, maybe give Stephen LeGros a birthday shout or something, or share. Like, I think the last thing I shared was that picture of Wolf and Ed Morgan's playing at a Buzzball event.
Okay.
And that was the last. And then I went back up there to comment today, this morning, and I couldn't post. I'm not allowed to post on it. So, who's the administrator? Call me and find out. I want to know what was said or posted. How are you gonna ban Mr. Nash the fourth? You know, shit.
I'm telling you, man.
So hey, you gonna ban me? You don't know shit.
That was a long one.
So that's the podcast, man. That we gotta find out who's the administrator, and we're gonna get to the bottom of that, P-Dub. We probably made some enemies right now.
You know what? They'll get over it. They'll get over it. Frank and Ernest and Frank, whatever you want to say.
Right. I was Ernest and P-Dub was Frank today. That was it.
Sound off in the comments. I had people disagree with me on my little post, and yeah, I got a lot of likes and loves and well said, Paul, and all that stuff, but not everybody agrees. That's fine too. So
yeah, Well, that's great. That's great. You didn't hide behind no keyboard. You know what I mean? You didn't disguise. We didn't. We name drop. We name drop.
Right. We came on here. We talked about the people. It was, there's just facts, right? These are the facts. I don't, beyond, if I wasn't there, Brian Phillips is famous for, you weren't there. Okay, no, I was not there. I agree. That's a fact. But the facts are, y'all got, the two of you. That's all I know.
Right.
And beyond that, I know I didn't want to go because I thought that might happen.
Damn.
It's just
Nostradamus. I gotta find a new name for you, P-Dub. You predicting future events now. That's crazy.
Nostradamus.
All right. Here we go. Before we let this end this podcast, we're gonna ride you out. Who wins the Kansas City TOC?
Who shows up? Kelly Newton's always dangerous, right?
Brian Newton will be there.
Brian Newton, right?
And we'll get some travel guys going.
Yeah.
Because you ain't gonna have no blow ups at Kelly Newton's event.
Right. So yeah, I hope they get a good showing of good, the Deep South is always strong. Then the Dallas crew.
Dallas will go there.
Anybody's in there, you can
Brandon, I think I got Brandon Woodard or Hudson winning the Kansas City Twister.
Yeah. I mean, like Michael Robinson, who doesn't play often.
Yeah, he don't play no more. He's retired. He's done.
Decide, hey man, I want to play this one and show up and he compete, So you never know. That's the thing, man. There's a lot of great coaches out there. We want to see them at these events, We want to see actual football represented, the best of the best. You don't want to drive these guys away. And so many of them are not showing up because they'd rather just play in their little league or whatever. And then
I didn't know that. That's bad. Well, you know what, folks? We didn't talk about it till we blew in the.
Yeah,
we're gonna be the dead horse. Mr. National and P-Dub know when to get up off of it. We made our point. I'm pretty sure a lot agree, and there's gonna be some that disagree. So we'll leave that up to the comments and the text messages and the phone calls that we are surely going to get. And P-Dub, you might be banned as well from MFCA or posting in the TOC Facebook page. So be ready.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So,
that's
yeah, we
the
can
podcast.
move on too, you know. So from all that, you know, there's a point in talking about it, talk it out, and then move on
I'm done.
forward.
I'm
You know?
done. I
Yeah.
want everybody to enjoy their Sunday. Football is back.
Right on.
That's it. That's it. I'm done. That's a podcast, Kit.
Take us out. Peace.
Peace.